people. So my suggestion, and I started a psilocybin company a few years ago. That's a whole other story. But the way that we recommend is that you start for the first week, you take a 50 milligram dose, and you do that twice in that week. So a Monday and a Thursday. And then the next week, you try 100 milligrams, same Monday, Thursday. The third week, you try 150, and you just sort of see, right? You're trying to personalize your dose. There is no correct dose. You just don't want to feel it, but you want to get in the range where is more insight, right? You are thinking in a different way about things. And you'll notice, right? You'll notice which dose is really working for you in that way. But the interesting thing is that people tend to forget that they're microdosing because you don't feel anything. So what I hear is like a month into a protocol, someone will say, gosh, you look like you're getting your rest. You seem really like you're light. How are things? Things are good? And people are like, yeah, things are good. And then they'll realize, oh, I started microdosing. They forget. They don't even notice that there could be a change about them. Other people notice before they do. So, yeah.
I think that's the best part of microdosing, right? Where you can just do it and then it creeps up on you. Like like the improvement of yourself.
Right.
Sort of.
Exactly.
It's like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
I feel different. Like, but you don't feel different because you're like, oh, I'm tripping. I feel so great. You just feel different somehow in yourself. Right. And I think that's really beautiful. And especially if you're a busy mom, you have kids, like, I think this is like the gift for stay-home moms, right? Like a microdose, right? Because I was a stay-home mom for 13 years, right? And I just felt like I needed something. It's so much work. It's, shout out to all the stay-home moms. Like, it's so much work, and it's such a thankless job. And you're just working your little butt off, taking care of those babies and your big baby, your husband. Right? And you're just like the maid, and you're doing everything. You're doing the most with like the least, most of the time, not all the time, the least amount of gratitude and appreciation, right? So here's a little something you can do for yourself to make your days feel sweeter. Maybe not at first, but eventually, if you stick with the program, suddenly life will feel so much, I like the word you've been saying, lighter. You will just feel breezier. And you will just feel better. And that is what this podcast is about, making you feel better in your life. And I love this topic for that, because this is proven. It's true. And no shade, if you are looking for that experience of deep visuals, of like feeling things all throughout your body, and that's what you're going for, then like a macro dose is more for you, right? You want to have that experience, and that experience can be a very deep and very powerful experience just the same. You know what I mean? It can be incredibly life-changing, but you have to be so safe and so careful because you're so vulnerable. I like to be in nature, but again, you have to be so safe. Like, you have to be careful. And I think being in nature and having that experience is one of the best experiences ever. But I do sometimes want to feel something. Like, I want to see the visuals. I want to see the colors. I want to see the trails of light. I want to have an entire like deep experience that's otherworldly. And so that's for me. Sometimes, like, I go away on a weekend, my kids are like looked after, I have a whole weekend, I have a day to like rest after and sort of integrate after, because you need that. And I plan it into my life. Now, as far as like microdosing, I like to be able to handle my business and take care of my kids and not feel like I'm altered, is what you were saying. I love that. And a lot of people will feel like that, and they don't realize that you can do this with mushrooms. You can do this with shrooms. Okay. You can do it. And you can feel a lot better. And there's so many things that they help. They can help your sex life. Okay. All right. They can help you, especially if you're a woman, especially if you're going through perimenopause and menopause. They can even help you there, right? Get your arousal up. and feel like your old young self again, just taking that, man. So
Yes.
like,
I have heard that anecdotally. Yeah.
so, or whatever you're into. I just happen to, date men, but get what you get and enjoy
Yeah.
your life. Okay. Like, because it can really help you. Okay. So I think there's so many ways it can help. Understanding the difference between microdosing and what to expect and
Yeah.
macrodosing and what to expect is really key. And finding a place to learn about it and try it, and continue to learn is so important as well.
Totally.
So I really suggest everybody go and follow April on Instagram so that you can learn more about her company and everything she's doing, because it's amazing, and that she's legit because you just listened to this. So
And because you said so.
and because I said so. And you know what? If you follow me and you watch or listen to this podcast, I have a lot of really smart, intelligent guests with a lot of value to add to your life to help you live a better life, because you're amazing and you deserve it just because you were born. You deserve to be living your best life possible. So, with that said, we're almost out of time, which makes me really sad. But you said something that I was really, really curious about. And I want to ask about that. I want to remember to ask about that before we wrap up this episode. And that was, you said you started a psilocybin company a few years ago. What's up, girl? Give me the tea.
I did. Well, I had started a podcast about psychedelics, and everyone was asking me, where do I get this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And when they said stuff, they meant mushrooms. And so I looked at everything. It just was like, I don't know where to send you. You're not going to go on Telegram. You're not going to go on Signal. You're not even know what I'm talking about when I suggest that. And I don't really know where to find the right products. I'm finding mushrooms in bulk, right? But people want it easy, right? They need it to be trusted. This was 2.5 years ago. So about a year into the podcast. And so there wasn't, in this calendar year, we've had 2 people die from psilocybin chocolate bars, right? Which no one dies of psilocybin. It was, the formulation was compromised because people are creating this stuff in illicit labs, right? Where there's like fentanyl on the table, and then they're not using actual mushrooms. They're using 4-ACO-DMT, which is a synthetic powder that gives you hallucinations, but isn't actually from psilocybin. So, things are just being cross-contaminated. And I feel like that's a big ask. Someone's trusting me with their experience. So I set out to find the best legacy operators here in Seattle that were creating trusted product, and people that make that's extracted psilocybin concentrate from all of the compounds that are in the mushroom. And then it's stacked 8-to-1 with lion's mane, which is a functional mushroom. And lion's mane, along with other functional mushrooms, is anti-inflammatory. So they actually think that the reason people are having such great luck microdosing is because psilocybin also is anti-inflammatory. And so you're taking care of yourself on that systemic level. So when you stack it with lion's mane, that is what's helping with the underlying inflammation. So the psilocybin can interact with your serotonin receptors. It's not, because it will seek out the inflammation first. It wants to take care of your basic needs. So it's medical grade capsules. They're really small. It's not ground up mushrooms put into a capsule. I have stomach issues, and so I would still have stomach upset if I take the raw. I like to say it takes the pulp out, right? And so it's called Of Like Minds is the name of the brand, and it's distributed out of Santa Cruz, which is a decrim city. And you can visit Cruzies. It's CRUZIES, Psilo, PSILO.com. And if you put in MIND, MIND at checkout, you get 10% off. And here you go. If you pause, this is the QR code.
Did you say it was Cruzy Silo, P-S-Y-L-O?
Psilo.com.
P-S-I.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I should have done my nails for you, Kia.
All good. You didn't know you were going to hold that up.
Yeah, well, I should probably do it anyway, but yeah.
You said it's .com. I'm going to make a little banner really quick. The code was, what was the code?
MIND.
Mind. I love that. It's so cute. Okay. So of like minds, cruisysilo.com. Oh, hold on. I still left the Y in there. I try to do it fast. Okay. Tell me if it's wrong and I'll fix it.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So, all right. So
Cruzy Silo is one word.
Ah, crap. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to fix it because I want everyone to get this.
Nice.
All right. So perfect. And I want everyone to get this and check it out. I'm going to get some. I'm not even lying. I love to support my friends' businesses with cash. Okay. I won't put money into you because I believe you're worth the investment. Okay. So enough. Also, I mean, are you kidding me? I'm not going to buy that. So like that